This PetX Talk is brought to you by Pet World Media Group, your partner in all things pet media. Additional funding and considerations provided by Natura Pets, Project Blue Collar, and Dogwise Publishing. Are you ready to be empowered? Then join us for this PetX Talk.
Hello, my name is Janet Marlow. I'm a composer, a researcher, and CEO of Pet Acoustics. Pet Acoustics, what does that mean? That means that your pet, whether it be a dog, a cat, a horse, or a bird, lives in air, and air transports sound, and sound affects animals greatly. As a matter of fact, they hear much more than we do. A horse hears more than a human, a dog hears twice as much as a human, and a cat hears 3 times more than a human. So imagine their world in your home is invisible to us. We don't hear what they're hearing, but you know your dog will run to the window, start barking, you go to the window, do you see anything? No, but your dog knows there's something out there they're hearing. So my passion in life at this stage is to bring the idea of knowledge of sound and how it affects your pet in the home, in the kennel, at the vet, in the car, or just generally. Stress is a big proponent of pet life, and I know pet parents have a lot of questions as to do you turn the radio on when you leave your dog at home alone, or you put the TV on? Just what do you do? What is the best thing to do? Well, there are issues to deal with. What are the problems? Separation anxiety, thunderstorm nerves, reactions to fireworks, and other behaviors, introducing dogs to other dogs, many issues, excessive barking in an urban environment. So how do we access the ear of an animal to give them a sense of balance? Because balance is really what we're all looking for in a living environment, especially dogs and cats in our homes. So is it just classical music? Is it James Taylor? Well, basically, my concept is to bring music into a state that is species specific. So I've done a lot of research. The research shows that if you go above a certain frequency, you are going into the alert level of that animal. In other words, we don't hear the same as animals. It's called Psychoacoustic Juxtaposition. So for example, we will hear a loud car going past us. It'll affect us in our body. We may flinch, but our brain will analyze, oh, that sound was over there and it's not going to be dangerous to me. Not so much for a dog or a cat. They will hear a sound that is beyond their capacity to feel relaxed. And all they will know is that it's a loud shot of volume, it's a high frequency, and they're out of here. Now in nature, they can run 2 miles away and they can find hiding. But in our homes, not so much. They're limited to movement. So providing music for them that is species specific, that is geared specifically for how they hear, and bringing it into a comfort zone is really what Pet Acoustics is all about, and my passion for life to bring this understanding to pet parents. Horses are rhythmic creatures. They walk in 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4 time. They live in air more than dogs and cats. So the music that I compose is within a very comfortable range for them in their hearing, and I also make the music very rhythmic, and you can actually see a horse in their stall kind of moving to the music rhythmically, because that's their life. That's genetically where they live. Birds. Very often bird owners will find that their birds pluck their feathers, and they're the most musical and they are the most communicative. They live in a community of sound, and very often when we bring them into our homes, they don't have that community anymore. So I create music that is designed for their hearing range, with nature sounds and with other bird sounds, so that they can relate to something when they're at home in your kitchen or wherever you have them, and you're out and not communicating with them. And it gives them greater sense of satisfaction, of community, and something active to do, and they stop picking their feathers. Dogs and cats prefer long, sustained tones. So the music that I compose for them is always instruments like violins, harps, flutes, guitar, piano, no percussion, no human voice, because again, you don't want to get them into that alert level, which can cause stress. And it is amazing to see how an animal will respond to music. So let me ask you this. Do you use music to relax too? Do you listen to music wherever you are? Music is affecting us at gas stations, at the dentist, certainly in the mall and restaurants. And music moves life force. And because animals hear more than we do, the music and the sound that they live in is even greater importance for them. So Pet Acoustics is all about the sonic environment surrounding your pet and how to relieve their stress for separation anxiety, thunderstorm nerves, travel, going to the vet, and keeping them in a state of balance that they so desire in their lives with us.
We're here with Janet after your really interesting PetX talk all about the audio world. And if we think about it, animals have been communicating with different sounds and noises for a very long time. What has the research that you've been able to look at done to impact how you've approached this in your business?
Well, the original inspiration for creating music for animals, being species specific, actually came from all the animals that I've been a companion with as a composer and a recording artist and as a performer. And it really took me a while to realize that every time that I practiced an instrument, no matter where my dog or cat was, they would come right to my side and sit down on the floor and relax and be completely relaxed. And then I started to realize that the music wasn't just there soothing for them because of me being with them, but that the music itself was very soothing to them. It was actually my cat Osborne who had been injured in the woods, and I took him to the vet. And when I went into the vet, who I adored and took great care of Osborne, but I realized all the sounds that were going on there were doors slamming and phones ringing and people talking, and it wasn't really conducive to a therapeutic environment. When he passed, I promised myself that I would go and discover what is the data that makes an animal respond to sound. Who was doing the studies? So I did research, and for 3 years I gathered all of this data of the frequency and the decibel level and what is it that a dog's range is, a cat's range is. I started producing the music, and there was a tremendous amount of anecdotal evidence from pet owners that would write to me and tell me I'm no longer giving my cat Prozac because of the stress, I'm just playing the music, I'm able to travel in the car with the music, and in those days it was just a CD. Now I have a speaker preloaded with the music. Fascinating things about that is I'm now achieved doing a blood pressure data before the music and after the music, and of course that's available to anybody who'd like to read about it on my website. We've done clinical studies through the Good Dog Foundation where they would do 3 months of training with the music, without the music, and with the music. The training was more successful with the puppies, and the pet owners liked the music too, so it just calmed everybody down. And so that's really fascinating. But I do want to say one thing to your audience about sound and communication, as you talked about it, between animals, because in the wild there's so much that we don't understand still about how animals communicate. Many years ago, Roger and Katie Payne went to Africa to discover how elephants communicate with each other. And this is a really good point. They spent years tape recording, but they did not discover the actual frequency that they were looking for, because animals have a public voice and they have a private voice. The private voice is the one that they share in high frequencies or low frequencies with their family. That's how they learn from the mother. Their public voice is the barking, no, stay away. Elephants, you'll hear them, lions, all of these things. But there's another world to the animals. So they took all these tapes, frustrated, came back to the United States, and all of a sudden their tape machine started to go super fast. And all of a sudden they heard these frequencies like that. And what it was is that in our human ego, we were approaching listening to elephants in our hearing range, but they discovered, that elephants actually communicate at sub-low levels. So our lowest level is 20 hertz. If you're a really superhuman, you can hear at 20 hertz. Elephants start at 14 hertz and go below. So I just find that scientific evidence and our approach to understanding animals and hearing is fascinating, because we are still learning so much. And my passion is to provide the best information and the best music and sonic environment for an animal, so that pet owners can just turn on the music, leave their animal on, leave the music on, and know that it'll be balanced and happy, ready for them to come home and take them for a walk.
So fascinating, so inspiring. Thank you so much for doing this PetX Talk.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us for this PetX Talk. To learn more information about Janet Marlow, visit petacoustics.com. Funding for PetX Talks is provided by Pet World Media Group, your partner in all things pet media. Additional funding and considerations for PetX Talks is provided by Nature Pets. Nature Pets can help you optimize your pet's health with premium organic supplements from the Amazon and Andes Mountains. Visit naturepets.com. Dogwise Publishing, all things dog. For all of your expert dog book needs, visit dogwise.com. Project Blue Collar. Support the Underdog is a movement to publicly identify and celebrate the rescue dog. Visit projectbluecollar.com. Special thanks to Pet World Insider, taking you inside the world of pets. Visit petworldinsider.com for more expert radio interviews, articles, and videos. This has been a Pet World Media Group production.